Okay, welcome to step 3. We're going to be talking about the platform that you are going to be operating on in order to operate your membership. And we're going to be using WordPress, as you might have imagined. And if you are relatively new to internet marketing, you might not know that a number of internet marketers use WordPress because it is so versatile and it allows for so many different kinds of things. And we are going to be using WordPress because we're going to be using a very simple application. And we're going to use the website builder. And the next video, we're going to be talking about the membership plugin. And that's pretty much all we're going to be using. We're going to put a theme on there that's relevant, but for the most part, we are really looking to really provide just a basic membership template and some place where people feel good about coming to get the content they're going to be receiving. Now, one of the things that you'll want to do is you'll want to make sure that you are using a self-hosted paid, which is a paid version, not WordPress.com. You want to be using a self-hosted version of WordPress. That is going to require you to spend a little bit of money. You're going to have a domain. You're going to have some hosting, but you don't have to have an extensive, large amount of hosting right now as you get your membership started. Certainly as your membership starts to grow, you're going to want to expand your hosting. You're going to want to be on something that's a little more substantial. But to get started, you can get the basic version, self-hosted version of a hosting account and your domain. So the first thing you're going to want to do is to go to Namecheap or GoDaddy for your membership. Now, when you start thinking about your domain name, you want to make your domain name about your subject, right? You know, basic weight loss, if you're going to be talking about that, or model airplane enthusiast, or something that talks about whatever your subject matter is going to be. You should try to have your subject matter in the domain name and make it easy to remember. Don't make it something that people can confuse. Don't make it something that people can misspell. Try to make it something that is going to be written. Now, you're not trying to get search engine rankings with the domain name, so don't think like that. So you don't have to have, an exact match domain. It doesn't have to be something that, if it has a hyphen in it, that's going to be a problem. You want something that you can easily tell someone where your site is. Just rolls off the tongue so that they can go straight to it and they won't get it confused with something else or a competitor or anything else. So now the next thing that you'll want to do is you'll want to get hosting with cPanel, right? So you can get hosting with cPanel at HostGator for the most part, and there's no magic to getting the hosting. Like I said, you can get the cheapest hosting they have to get started, and then you can come back and expand if you need to. Now, when you set up cPanel, you're going to set up 2 emails. You're going to set up one for yourself and then one for the newsletter. It's going to be called support@yourdomain.com. I'm going to show you how to do all this in a minute, so don't worry about that. And then you're just going to enter Fantastico and install WordPress. So let's take a look and go through these steps. Okay, now, so you're going to step through this process starting with GoDaddy or Namecheap. Either one is fine. Now, if you just are kind of in a quandary about how you're going to choose a domain name, one of the things you can do is you can go to a site called namedroppers.com. You can put in your keywords. I just said model airplane. And what namedroppers.com will do is it'll go do some searching, right? And it'll make some suggestions in terms of domain names. And you can start with some of those, and then you can go back to GoDaddy and you can put those domain names in here. But basically, remember, you're really just trying to create something memorable that people will remember, that people will just have it roll off of their tongue so that they will come to your site without reservation. They won't have any trouble finding it. So once you've chosen the domain name, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go get some hosting. You can do that at HostGator, and they've got fairly affordable hosting. And really, if you want to get your hosting from someplace else, you can. A lot of internet marketers use HostGator. You can get it hosting starting at $3.96 a month, and you can start out with your basic plan. And all you really want to do is you want to make sure that you're going to have cPanel on your hosting account. Now, once you've already chosen your hosting and you've gotten inside of it, then what you're going to do is you're going to come into your cPanel. And when you're inside of your cPanel, one of the first things you're going to do is to create an email account. So what I like to do is I like to go to the cPanel email and just go to email accounts. And when I do that, then I'll just create one that's called support, because that's what I'm going to use to administer my my membership. All right. Okay, and then I'll just create that account. You can create another domain name for yourself if you want. You don't have to, right? This can be the domain that you just decide to use. You want to go ahead and verify that that domain works, and then you want to have it forward those emails to an email address that you're going to use, and then you are ready to go as terms of then going back to cPanel and then creating your website. Now, what you're going to do inside of cPanel is you're going to go to Fantastico. Now, I'm already going to have a WordPress site already created inside of here, so I'm going to create a separate directory, and then we're going to create a WordPress site. We're just going to go to WordPress right there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use the automatic builder inside of WordPress. As I said, I've already got one created inside of the root directory, so I'm going to then do a new installation of WordPress. And in this particular case, you are going to want to put WordPress into a directory, right? And so what I'm going to suggest that you do is you're going to install WordPress inside of the directory called members. Right? And then what you're going to do here is you are going to then you're going to put an administrator username. You can make it admin. You can make your password admin if you want, and you can just then give that a name. It can be any name you want. Now your admin email should be the one that you just chose, the one you just created. We created a support email. And for now, you can just leave that blank. Okay, so now your email or your WordPress site is going to be created. We're just going to click Install WordPress. We're going to finish our installation. And then as soon as WordPress finishes its installation, we are going to be good to go. Okay, so now we have a brand new site inside of WordPress. It's in the members directory, and we can have our details sent to our email address. And now we are ready to go to the next step. Now we're going to be talking about your content system next, and we're going to be talking about a special plugin that we're going to be using inside of WordPress. So in order to get started with the next step, which is going to be in the next video, go ahead and click that link to the new website, log in, and then we will be ready to get started. And with that, thanks, and I will see you in the next video.